Sometimes anxiety arrives quietly. It does not knock on the door of your heart. It simply appears. One moment everything seems normal. The next moment your thoughts begin to race. Your mind begins asking questions. What if something goes wrong? What if I fail? What if things never change? Your heart feels heavy. Your chest feels tight. Even when nothing dangerous is happening around you, inside your mind it feels like a storm is beginning. Anxiety has a way of making the future look darker than it really is. It whispers doubts. It magnifies fears. And sometimes it convinces us that we are alone. But the truth is different. Many people struggle with anxiety. Even people who have strong faith. Even people who pray every day. Feeling anxious does not mean you are weak. It does not mean your faith is failing. It simply means you are human. And God understands the battles that happen inside your heart. The Bible reminds us many times that worry is part of the human experience. Even great figures of faith faced moments of fear and uncertainty. But they learned something powerful. They learned that anxiety does not have to control the heart. In Philippians 4:6 we read, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, present your requests to God." This verse is not a command meant to pressure you. It is an invitation. God is inviting you to bring your worries to Him. Not tomorrow, not when everything feels perfect, but right now, exactly as you are. One of the first steps to calming anxiety is something very simple. Pause. Take a deep breath. Slow down your thoughts. Sometimes our minds move so quickly that we forget to breathe. But peace often begins in stillness. When we pause for a moment, the storm inside our mind begins to quiet. In that quiet moment, we create space for God's presence. Silence can become a place where peace begins to grow. Prayer is one of the most powerful tools against anxiety. Prayer is not just repeating words. Prayer is conversation. It is opening your heart honestly before God. You can tell Him everything. Your fears, your doubts, your frustrations. You do not need perfect sentences. You do not need special language. God listens to sincere hearts. Another important step in overcoming anxiety is remembering God's promises. The Bible is filled with reminders of God's presence. Isaiah 4:1-10 says, "Do not fear, for I am with you." These words carry incredible power. God does not promise that life will always be easy, but He promises something greater, His presence. And sometimes the greatest comfort in life is simply knowing we are not alone. Anxiety often comes from imagining the worst possible future. Our minds create scenarios that may never happen, but faith shifts our focus. Instead of imagining disaster, faith reminds us to remember God's faithfulness. Think about the times God has helped you before. Think about the prayers that were answered. Think about the strength you found in difficult seasons. If God helped you before, He can help you again. God is not surprised by your struggles. He is not disappointed by your fears. He sees everything you are carrying, every silent worry, every hidden tear, every moment when your heart feels overwhelmed. His response is not judgment. His response is compassion. God understands human weakness. His love remains constant even in our most fragile moments. Sometimes anxiety is connected to uncertainty. We want answers. We want clarity. We want to know what will happen next. But life does not always reveal its plan immediately. In that waiting can feel uncomfortable. Yet waiting seasons are often moments when God is working quietly, preparing something we cannot yet see. Growth often happens in silence, just like seeds growing under the soil before a plant appears. When anxiety rises, it can help to focus on gratitude. Gratitude changes perspective. Instead of focusing only on problems, we begin to notice blessings, even small ones. A moment of peace, a supportive friend, a quiet morning, a beautiful sunset. These simple gifts remind us that life holds beauty even during difficult seasons. Another powerful practice is speaking truth to your mind. Anxiety often fills our thoughts with negative stories, but we can replace those stories with truth. Truth from God's word. Truth that reminds us we are loved. Truth that reminds us we are guided. Truth that reminds us we are never abandoned. Truth has power to quiet fear. Faith does not remove every storm from life, but it gives us an anchor during storms. When waves rise and winds become strong, anchors keep ships from drifting away. Faith works in a similar way. It holds the heart steady when emotions feel unstable. Even when anxiety whispers fear, faith whispers hope. Right now, someone listening to this message may feel overwhelmed. If that person is you, take a moment to breathe. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. God sees you. He understands what you are going through. His presence surrounds you even now. Peace may not arrive instantly, but it grows as we continue trusting Him. Anxiety may visit your life from time to time, but it does not define your story. God's peace is stronger. God's love is deeper. In God's presence is constante. So today, take a deep breath. Release your worries into God's hands. You remember this simple truth. You are never alone. God is walking beside you, even in moments when your heart feels uncertain. Sometimes anxiety feels like a weight that never leaves your mind. Even when the day seems calm, your thoughts continue running. You try to relax. You try to distract yourself, but the worries return again. This happens because anxiety often lives in the future. It makes us imagine problems that have not happened yet. It makes us carry burdens that do not belong to today. But Jesus reminded us of something very important. In Matthew chapter 6 He said, "Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself." Each day already has enough challenges of its own. This message is not telling us to ignore life's responsibilities. Instead, it reminds us to live one step at a time, one day at a time. When we focus only on today, our minds begin to calm. We stop carrying the weight of an entire future on our shoulders. God never asked us to control everything. He only asked us to trust Him. Trust that He knows the path ahead. Trust that He is guiding every step. Even when the road feels uncertain. Even when answers take time. Faith does not remove every difficulty, but it gives us strength to move forward. And slowly, as we continue trusting God, something beautiful happens. Peace begins to grow inside our hearts, not because life became perfect, but because we know we are not walking alone. God walks with us, through every question, through every storm, through every moment of doubt. His peace is stronger than anxiety. Anxiety often tells us that we must solve everything immediately. It pushes our minds to search for answers all the time. But peace grows when we learn something very important. Not every question needs an answer today. Sometimes the best thing we can do is simply trust. Trust that God is already working in ways we cannot see. Trust that even when life feels confusing, His plan is still moving forward. Faith does not mean we understand everything. Faith means we believe that God understands everything, and that He is guiding our lives with wisdom and love. So when anxiety begins to rise again, take a deep breath, slow your thoughts. You remember this simple truth. God is with you today. He will be with you tomorrow. He will never abandon the story He is writing in your life. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do when anxiety appears is simply pause. Take a moment to breathe. Let your shoulders relax. Let your thoughts slow down. In that quiet moment, remind yourself of this truth. Your life is not out of control. God is still guiding your path. Even when you cannot see the full picture, He sees everything clearly. He knows your past. He understands your present. He already holds your future. So instead of carrying every fear alone, place those worries in God's hands. Trust Him with the things you cannot solve. Trust Him with the questions you cannot answer. You remember that peace does not come from having a perfect life. Peace comes from knowing that God walks beside you through every moment. If this message brought peace to your heart today, take a moment to support this channel. Like this video, share it with someone who may need this message today. Leave a comment below. Your support helps this message reach more people who are struggling. And remember, you are not alone. God is walking with you every single day. Jesus Himself often withdrew from crowds to pray. Even when thousands followed Him, even when people needed Him, He stepped away to speak with the Father. Why? Because prayer renews the soul. It strengthens the heart. It reminds us that we are not alone. If Jesus valued prayer so deeply, we can learn from His example. Prayer connects us with peace that the world cannot give. Many times anxiety grows because we try to control everything. We try to predict every possible outcome. We try to protect ourselves from every possible problem. But life was never meant to be controlled completely. Trying to control everything can exhaust the mind and the heart. Faith invites us to release that pressure. Faith reminds us that God sees the entire path ahead, while we can only see a few steps in front of us. Trusting God does not mean problems disappear, but it means we do not carry those problems alone.